Retro TV, your home for classic television. The greatest shows in history are here for you to enjoy. Join Cosby and Culp as secret agent men in I Spy. Ride along the Ponderosa with the Cartwrights in Bonanza. Hit the beat with Joe Friday in Dragnet. And that's not all. Retro TV offers endless fun and excitement for the whole family to enjoy. Retro TV, the best in classic television.
You can find Retro TV on over-the-air channel 13.4.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. It's a Thursday morning, and today we're going to focus on our community, Habitat for Humanity, in the house for the first time. You can call in at 436-MeTV option 11. At the second half of the program, we have a comedian in the house. No, it's not Jay Leno. No, it's not David Letterman. But, you know, we got what we got. Anyway, he's a good one. He's a good comedian. You'll enjoy the second half of the program, and I hope you get a few laughs out of it. Back in just a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Back here on a Thursday morning here on the showroom floor, and I promise the second half of the program I will not try to make you laugh because I'm not that good at it, but we have somebody who is. In the meantime, you are watching us, my friends, as usual on Comcast channel 187 and 43.6, and of course now 13.1. See all the options you have for this live program? Hey, my friends, you can catch the replay if you'd like at 2 o'clock this afternoon, 13.6. YouTube, and then 8 o'clock tonight, 4.6. That would be Biz TV. We're all over the place, and then later on, afterwards, we're posted on YouTube with our own YouTube channel. And then if you'd like, as soon as I get up to it, I will update the Twitter account. Follow me on Twitter at John Malos Me TV. I have not been sleeping on the job on Twitter. I'll get to it when I can. Habitat for Humanity has been around. You know, it's going on almost 40 years, not quite, 39 to be exact. Founded way back in 1976 in the state of Georgia. And in case you haven't noticed, my friends, they're building houses right here in the city of Fresno. I want to take you to the videotape, show you what I'm talking about. And here it is, out there near Church and Chestnut. There are about 4 houses going up right now under construction. 9 lots in all, and hoping it's going to be done sometime soon. Ooh, taking a break there, yeah, from the heat. Here in Fresno County, Habitat was founded back in 1985. It's helped more than hundreds of families move into various homes with help of thousands and thousands of volunteers just like these, building, painting, scraping, doing whatever it needs to take to build these homes. Habitat, as you know, is an organization devoted to building simple, decent, and affordable housing to low-income families. And it's really not affiliated with the government, although they take government subsidies. It's a nonprofit, meaning it's a 501c3. Not only are these homes affordable, they are energy efficient in some cases. They are durable. They are built to last. Habitat, founded by Millard and Linda Fuller. And the idea at the time was to tackle poverty in this country from coast to coast by building houses for no profit, interest not to be charged on the loans to those who buy. We'll ask our guest all about this and, of course, much more, including your phone calls. Live in our studio right now is Tony Miranda. He is the executive director of Habitat for Humanity here in Fresno County. In fact, he's been the lead guy for Habitat for 12 long years. That's right. He's still looking good and doing some good things out there. 436-MeTV option 11. You know, we all associate Habitat for Humanity with Jimmy Carter, the former president. Those visions and video of him out there building homes with all the rest of the volunteers kind of etched into our brains. Anyway, call in if you have a comment or a question. We're back with our guest in just a moment.
News, most watched news channel in Europe.
Back here on our program on a Thursday morning. If you want to call in and ask any questions about Habitat for Humanity, we are here and you are there. And Tony Miranda, the executive director, is here. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good morning to you, too.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So Habitat, you've been, talk about the local aspect of Habitat here in Fresno County. You've been the executive director for 12 years. Tell us a little bit about the organization here in the Central Valley.
Sure. So our affiliate was the 100th affiliate of Habitat for Humanity International. So came on fairly early in the development of Habitat for Humanity International. And so we started in 1985. And there was a church here in town that took a youth group to Tucson, Arizona, and they did a habitat project there and got excited and wondered why there wasn't a habitat here in Fresno, so they decided to start it. And so a lady named Jackie Holmes was the executive director, and she was in that role for 17 years. And I came in and worked as a full-time volunteer for about 2 years, then became...
During that time? Way
Yeah.
back in 85?
Oh, no, this was in
Okay.
97.
Oh, okay. 97 you became a volunteer.
Yeah. And I did that for about 2 years, full-time volunteer, and then became the paid volunteer coordinator for about 3 years, and then became the executive director after that.
Wow.
So anyway,
your climb to the top it didn't take you all that long.
Well, it was an all-volunteer run organization for many, many years, as most Habitat affiliates, that's the way they started. And so having a paid staff, when I came on, there were no paid staff.
Nobody was paid?
Yeah, no. So
Wow.
it was a really, it was a very heart-driven organization, and they did great. They built about a house a year for the first 10 years, and then, began to develop more resources and acquire more land and increase the number of families they served. And then as I was coming on, more resources were coming in, so they were able to hire staff, and the ball just kept rolling.
Where's the money coming in from? How do you get your money?
Any place that we can find money, we work to acquire that. So that's individual donors, churches, civic groups, local foundations, that's granted money, that's income. It's a longer story how our model really is, but homeowners are making payments traditionally to the affiliate, and so we use that stream of income to help support other families.
No interest, though, on the loan.
Yeah. That's the real financial break in the Habitat model, although people most know Habitat for the volunteer involvement with a family investing sweat equity into their own home and community members coming alongside them and helping them partner to build their home. But the real primary financial break is that we service almost all our mortgages and we charge 0% interest. And that's true for Habitat affiliates around the world. And that's really where the financial benefit comes into the families.
Now, you are subsidized by the government to a certain extent, right? Is it grants, basically?
Yeah, so there are a number of housing-specific grants. For example, federal dollars from HUD come to jurisdictions, and so we work with the city of Fresno and the city of Clovis with their federal housing dollars to, build new houses. The subdivision you'll see in the videotapes.
We can roll it. Yeah.
That's in partnership with the city of Fresno. They've been very, very supportive of us, and so there are city monies in those projects that help us buy the supplies and materials and make the homes possible.
Okay, we're taking a look at this. We'll talk a little bit more about money as we're looking at some of these homes out here. This is near Church and Chestnut. Is that correct?
Yep. And by the way, the grass is not because we didn't mow the lawn. That's we have to do that for oh my gosh, irrigation issues.
Okay. All right. Got a phone call coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on with Tony Miranda. Good morning, and how are you? Caller, you're there? Okay. You got to turn down the sound on your television set.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Turn down the sound on your TV set.
I did, sir.
Good. Can you turn down the sound on your TV set, please?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Tony, my name is Alan Birkendine. I'm a volunteer for Habitat. Between you and Rick O'Daniels and the Restore, you guys have stepped up and made your organization probably one of the best in the nation. It seems like your volunteers go out of their way to do more than most volunteers do, and the supplies that you get from the Restore and the donations seem to benefit everybody. I just wanted to call and tell you that how much I appreciate you and the things you've done for the company, and thank you for not leaving, and I wish you all the best.
Caller, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. What makes Tony such a good executive director? Why do you praise him so much? What's he doing that's so phenomenal? I want to know.
Me too.
Well, Tony sort of come in at a time when it was needed for better organization and put the program back on track, and he put great people around him to step up and take charge, and it seemed like at the time that it was needed, God put the right person in our path and has really, between Tony and the rest of the staff, has made the organization just seem to do better.
So he's well organized.
Yes, very much so, and he's a nice guy too.
Yeah.
And so it seems to help a lot. He's very personable, gets along great with the community, and the donations can't come fast enough.
Yeah, and how long have you been a volunteer, if you don't mind me asking?
Gosh, I started with Rico Daniels probably 5 years ago when they were doing some homes over by, off of Music. One of my first two homes, I volunteered with him.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, thank you, caller. I appreciate it very much. So that must make you feel good.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, Alan's a great guy, and yeah, that's very encouraging. Encouraging words.
Yeah, and that call was not a setup, by the way.
Okay. I love it.
I'd never talked to him before in my life, so the first-time caller, and appreciate your phone calls and your comments very much. Hey, Tony Miranda is here. We got to take a break. He's the executive director of Habitat for Humanity. We simply call it Habitat now. 436-ME-TV, option 11, if you want to call in and weigh in.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here with Tony Miranda, and roll another piece of videotape here and look at Habitat here in Fresno County. About how many homes since 1985 have been built? Has it been over 100, over 150, over 200? What's the approximate or exact figure?
Yeah, we're just over 130 homes that we've built. Yeah, and that's the primary work of Habitat for Humanity, is to help people build and own their own homes, but we've done other projects, repairs, and a variety of other things. So.
All right. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning, John, and good morning to your guest. First of all, Habitat for Humanity, I'm glad you guys are doing a show on this. I don't know too much, but I've always heard good things about the program. What I'm curious to find out is, from what I understand and what I'm seeing on the show, is that you guys help build homes for people that are in need. I guess my question is to what extent do you go? I mean, do you go on to furnishing, or do you partner with other people in the community with furnishing the homes for these people in need and providing them with the appliances and bedding or whatever other necessities they need to make it a home? That's my question. I'll take my answer over the air.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great. Thanks for the question. Habitat for Humanity's focus is the house, and we do not traditionally look at providing any of the furnishings for the families. Now, occasionally there are donors in this community, and there are many very generous donors in the community, but some donors have made a commitment to helping the families with some of the home furnishings. It's so occasionally that will happen, but it's not part of the traditional Habitat program. So we provide the home, and then they provide everything that goes on the inside.
Yeah, I want to get back to the money issue, and that is approximately how much do you take in a year? I know it's probably different each year.
Yeah,
is it $1 million? Is it $2 million? Is it? Give me a rough figure.
Yeah, it really varies year to year, like you said, though. But over the last 5 years, between probably $1.5 million and $2 million has been the average amount.
And a percentage of that goes how much to staff and salaries?
I don't have that number in front of me right now. It is in our annual report. I think last report we were at 21 or 23%.
Right.
Yeah.
So about 80% of that stays here and goes back into the system, or how does that work?
Into program work, yeah.
Into program
housing
work, into housing, and it stays here in Fresno County, basically.
Yeah, the vast majority of that is our turf is Fresno County, and that's how our
Yeah.
affiliates are mostly set up around the world.
Do you have to report to the national organization, to the higher ups?
Sure.
You do?
Yep. We do.
To what regard?
Well, our basically
Yeah,
housing,
give them a financial report and all that kind of stuff.
And housing production, how many families you've served, how many
Yeah.
houses you've built, how many rehabilitation projects you've done.
How many
all that
volunteers you have,
Yep.
all that kind of stuff.
All that stuff.
Caller, you're on the air with Tony Miranda. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to your guest, Tony. Tony, has the city approached you about, since you're building homes, a project where they can build, I mean, if the city can get a maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 acres and build for the homeless, it'd be a plus, because all you hear about the homeless, this and that, and I think your Habitat would be a great thing to put out there as not so much a publicity, but all the help that you give, and I know that you got to have carpenters and people that put shingles and everything else, but it takes a lot of volunteers. But it'd be a good idea to get the city to get involved with, not only with you, but help you finance a little bit, where they can also make a name for themselves by putting homeless people, because they're always talking about the homeless. We don't have areas for them to stay and all that, and they just kind of build their own homes and along the railroads or tracks. But I think the city, if they were smart, they would approach you and say, hey, is there a way that you can, with your volunteers, build homes for them, or maybe just one big home,
Okay, thanks, caller.
Yeah, it's a great question. And Habitat for Humanity International, who we are affiliated under, we have our own 501c3, but we work under the leadership of Habitat International, and they have been explicitly clear about our focus in home ownership. And we certainly want to work on the continuum of housing solutions, but we have felt up to this point that our particular role is to work with families who are in a position to become homeowners, but right now they just wouldn't qualify financially to take out a traditional loan product. So it's just a little different niche.
So that's the major stumbling block, right?
What do you mean? Oh, for families?
Yeah, for homeless families, they wouldn't be able to make the payment.
Exactly right, and that's a very essential part of the Habitat philosophy. This is the family is reinvesting back into Habitat so they can help another family. So Habitat has just felt that for families who are homeless, individuals or families who are homeless, that is they're at a different need point in life. So other folks are better equipped to help provide the services that those families need, and we're just at a next level on the housing continuum is where Habitat has placed itself.
So you would never go to the next level in building homes for those people who are on the street, have nowhere to go, that are completely homeless, that would not have to have or be strapped with a mortgage or a monthly payment. You're not ready to go to that next level yet.
That's correct.
Because finances?
Because it's just not the model we've developed. Yeah.
Finances, that basically boils down to money then. Yeah.
It is money, but it's also what your niche is in servicing. The homeless population is there are different issues related to folks who are finding themselves homeless. And we currently don't feel like we have the skill set to do that well. Other people do, we don't.
Yeah, because they're in a different situation than low-income families. Low-income families are still making some money and can afford and do qualify for your mortgage.
Right.
And can afford to pay that low monthly premium on a house, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so you're talking about apples and oranges, basically.
Yeah. I mean, again, on a continuum, but yeah, different segments. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's not the model for your program.
Right.
All right, talk about Millard and Linda Fuller just a little bit here before we go to break. They are the founders way back in 1976. Matter of fact, I read on the internet in doing a little research for this, and that is that they went to is it Kinshasa, Zaire, back in 1976, and they actually lived in Zaire for what, 3 years?
3 years.
And they built homes for the needy back then?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's how it started in Georgia, is that right?
Right. Yeah. So they had moved a long and fun story, but they had moved into an interracial farm in rural Georgia, and really what they had been developing there under their mentor Clarence Jordan was this idea of communities reinvesting in themselves. So as they lived in this farm, they saw neighbors who they could help. So they talked about putting together a pool of money. And that's really what it was. Could you have community money to help people do projects? So that was the start of the model for them. Then they went to Zaire as missionaries for 3 years. So then the housing element really came in. So they married this idea of a community pool of money with the need for housing, and that was really the foundation for Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, and of course, right here, we're looking at some workers here. How, as we look at these carpenters here building these homes, you know, I don't know how else to ask the question. Are these legitimate carpenters that we're looking at? They know, I mean, or are these just volunteers that walked in with no experience? Okay, let me start hammering a few nails and this and that. So do you take in volunteers who have no experience, or do you have to have some kind of experience in carpentry?
Yeah, I think this gets back to Alan's point, the first caller when he called in. The construction manager and construction team at Habitat has done a very, very good job at providing a work site where there's the spectrum. There are definitely, the bulk of people who come to the job site know nothing about construction at all, and we anticipate that, and that's just the
nothing
plan.
about roofing or air conditioning,
right,
or tile or anything like that. Huh?
Exactly right.
They learn on the job.
Yeah, and so the construction team who are skilled construction professionals, not myself, but the construction team.
Right.
They have trained up volunteer crew leaders who then work with the volunteers who are unskilled completely. So those crew leaders work with 2 or 3 or maybe 4 totally unskilled people, and then the crew leaders has some good knowledge, and then there is a staff person who oversees the whole house. So they've set up the system so that homeowners and community members can come out and have a great experience, learn a lot, and build a great house.
And your building needs to code.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say this, to a testimony to the gentlemen who run our construction site, they do very, very well in the houses. I think I would put up quality-wise against any house.
Really?
Absolutely.
All right. Tony Miranda is here from Habitat for Humanity. He is the executive director here in Fresno County. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Hey, even a novice like me can go out there and hammer a nail, right? Call in, weigh in, back in just a moment.
Tune in to Heartland for the best in true country music. Relive vintage specials, one-of-a-kind concerts, and country music's earliest videos. Heartland is the heart of country, the only place where you can find country music, country stars, and country lifestyles 24/7. Heartland, the heart of country.
Now on channel 13.2.
Back here with Tony Miranda, talking with him about Habitat for Humanity. And so we talked about the mix of experienced carpenters that are on the job. They're actually the foremen. They oversee the jobs. And then you have these volunteers that come in and they oversee the volunteers.
Right.
So that's how these houses get built. Let's go back out to the videotape and tell us how many houses, how many lots are out here near Chestnut and, what is it? Chestnut and Church.
Yeah. This is a great project for our affiliate. It's a nice size. It's nine units, and it's right in between 2 existing subdivisions. And this is a fairly typical workday for us. When we're operating, we operate on a 24-week build schedule. So, and typically we will start a house every 6 weeks when we're into a project. And so typically we have 3, at most 4 houses under construction at a time. And so you have anywhere from 40 to maybe upwards of 80 people on the job site on Saturday. These are mostly community volunteers and homeowners. And again, you have a house leader at each house, and then you may have 1 to up to 3 different sub-trades going on. So obviously here's a great example. Here's a crew of people who came out to roof. Typically, George at our job site will lead the roofing, and he'll maybe have 4 crew leaders leading a team of 2 or 3 people. So they roofing, as a matter of fact, they do the whole roof in 2 days, 2 Saturdays. So that's a very typical kind of a job. Framing is all done in 1 day. All the shear and siding prep is done in 1 day. Sheetrock is done in a couple days. So.
Yeah, so typically it takes how long to build a home?
We're on a 24-week build schedule.
So, but to build one house from start to finish takes 24 weeks? Okay. And how many out there again are being built?
We have 4 under construction right now.
Okay, and 9 lots altogether. And you have about 80 volunteers, 80 to 90 volunteers at any one particular site. Is that correct?
Yeah, like on a full work, when things are really engaged at this subdivision, for example, you might have maybe maximum number would be 80.
Yeah, yeah. What's your vision or your goal for the future, do you think?
Well,
I mean, you've been here 12 years. All right, you since '85, 130 homes have gone up. What's do you have any plans to speed up that process, to build more, to build faster? What?
Yeah, we do. And right now, the key for that is, and let me say that there are a couple of things. It's not only in that new house construction, but it's new house construction, it's rehab projects, it's our store, our retail outlet, and we also do neighborhood revitalization efforts. So there's Habitat is a broad organization, so we have goals in many directions. But I will say on the new house side, we definitely have an interest in increasing production. The key piece for us is financing. And as you can see, the Habitat model is with anything, but the Habitat model is challenging because we have to raise all the money up front, and then we service that mortgage over 30 years. So if we raise $130,000 up front and then get that $130,000 back over 30 years, that's not a model that allows you to increase production very well. So we're really working on some very important financing strategies that could really help us open up the opportunities to, probably double construction. That's what we're looking at.
Give me some examples on what you're looking at, how to increase production, money-wise.
Yeah, it's how we finance the construction. There are a couple of methods that we're looking at. And they're a little tricky to get into at this point, but they're financing methods.
Yeah, basically, is it raising money or what?
Yeah, it's raising money. It's how we raise money, and it's not all from philanthropy. So this would be looking at how we deal with the mortgages, either how we originate mortgages maybe differently, or how we deal with the mortgages once we've originated them, so that we can acquire some of that the receivable up front instead of over 30 years. If we have a great strategy to bring that in up front, then we're able to increase production.
Did the recession hurt you?
We were very, very fortunate because we had some projects already underway, and we did not have some money that many other affiliates relied on that really did get hurt. So we just were very, very fortunate, thank God, that we were able to move through and keep our production level that we've had over the last 7 or 8 years.
So you dodged a bullet, huh?
We did.
Because?
Like I said, we were fortunate not to have been relying on money that went away, and we did happen to have, money in the pipeline for the projects we were working on. So
yeah, so that's how you did it. Huh? That's how you. And so, how's in your estimation, is the economy better now for you to increase that production?
It
better
is
than it was.
Yeah. The challenge for us though is at that point when the market crashed, all of a sudden you had some land that became freed up. It didn't really drop in value a lot, but more freed up. Now land is much tighter. So that's the challenge now, although the economy is better, and I think people's lives are moving on, and that's a good thing for philanthropy. But those land prices now are going back up, and that's a big issue for us. Land is expensive.
Okay, Tony Miranda is here, 436-ME-TV, option 11. We got a few minutes left, and then we'll have our second guest. You can call in our remaining moments with Tony Miranda, the Executive Director of Habitat.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highways.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on ME-TV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. He's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there!
Officer Poncherello, man. Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada on
now
Chips.
On MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here with Tony Miranda. Who are these people volunteering?
Oh, you name it. Some of them are just individuals who think Habitat sounds like fun and want to come out to the site. Some of them are from maybe a civic group, a Rotary or a Lions or a Kiwanis Club that want to come out and do something good. We have a lot of church groups that come out, with Fresno State students, Fresno City College, Fresno Pacific. Basically, you name the segment of society, people see Habitat for Humanity. They like the idea of doing construction. They like the idea of working with other homeowner families and other volunteers. So we get just a great cross-section of people who want to come out and volunteer on a Habitat job site. You know, if you've got time in the morning to come out and learn how to frame or learn how to hang sheetrock or see how, how to do roofing, it's fun. And Habitat really is a fun opportunity to do something you might have never done but would love to do.
What's the age limit?
We have you have to be 18 to volunteer at the job site, and then there's no ceiling.
No, you could be 90 and be out there hammering a nail.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're 90 and you want to be on the roof, but...
True. Yeah, that's true. We'll work with you on that. Many people aren't even close to 90 and they don't want to be on the roof.
They don't want to, yeah. Well, I don't want to be on the roof, and I'm nowhere near 90, but let me ask you what your affiliation is to religion, Christianity.
Mm-hmm. So Habitat is a Christian organization, and how we demonstrate that is typically in the morning we'll pray before a work day. At every Habitat house dedication around the world, when the family is moving in, Habitat presents a Bible. Habitat does not proselytize. You don't have to be a Christian to be a volunteer or a homeowner on staff or a board member.
You could be a Jewish,
sure.
You could be Muslim,
yep.
You could be a Hindu.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a Christian.
Right. Yeah, that's our
Okay.
perspective, and that's the roots of Habitat for Humanity. That's where the philosophy and the theology behind Habitat came from, but there's no requirement for people being involved or being connected to have a faith perspective or a Christian perspective.
Any
for that
backlash on that because it is a Christian-based organization, and considering what's going on overseas with, and I want to specifically mention ISIS, the attack on Christians, any backlash overseas, not in this country specifically, but overseas, because you're a worldwide organization.
Right, yeah. I've never read anything in Habitat International literature where they saw a backlash, and you know, to be honest, I've been with the organization 17 years,
yeah,
and it has not been a contentious
target
issue.
for anything.
No.
Yeah, target for any kind of political statement or anything like that. More people on the roof. These obviously are younger and more courageous than I am. I would not want to climb the roof for any reason or other. And so you've been out there climbing roofs, have you?
I have. Roofing is fun, and actually once you get onto the roof, it's a little less scary. And you could see back in that shot there were the guardrails around the house, so we put up guardrails to help people feel a little more secure, and again, thank God we've been very good. Very few people have injuries at the job site. You can see the guardrails there in that shot, and the people underneath wearing hard hats. So again, Habitat's a well-run job site. It's a safe site. It's a fun site. It's really a great opportunity.
Jimmy Carter's involvement, did this vault Habitat for Humanity into the national, maybe worldwide spotlight because of his long-time work with the organization?
There's no doubt about it, into the international spotlight. He has been a great advocate, and I've heard said many times before, whatever you thought about his politics, his willingness to advocate for the work of Habitat has been incredibly helpful. And he is still an active member. I went to a trip.
He is, really?
He really is. I went to Vietnam a couple of years ago, and he was there on a big work project.
Secret Service around him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's still involved, and when he builds, when he and his wife build, they build. They don't talk to anybody. They're there to do work.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
And did you meet Jimmy Carter?
I did, yeah.
You did. And what'd you think?
Well, now, when I say I met him, means he comes up to our house that we were building and we take a picture together and, say hi, so.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Hi, goodbye,
see
you later?
He had 400 people to take pictures with, so
oh,
we're
so you
moving
didn't
fast.
get a chance to talk to him too much. Hey, take it back to 1968, and the founders, they kind of laid this whole thing out with 42.5 acres, right, in Koinonia. Explain what happened there in 1968. Koinonia is a place in Georgia, right?
Yeah, that Koinonia was the farm that they moved on to. The fun story, but
You're talking, when you say they, you're talking about Millard and Linda Fuller.
Right.
Okay.
So Millard was a wealthy entrepreneurial guy. He was an attorney, made a lot of money, but it got in the way of the relationship. The wife said, "Hey, I'm taking the kids. We're going to New York. If you can't get your life back on track, we're done." So he gave away all his money, and they said, "We're going to do this. We're going to move into this interracial farm in rural Georgia." So big shift that they made, but this was to put their life back together.
42 acres, huh?
Yeah. And this is where all the heart of Habitat grew up, under their mentor, Clarence Jordan, as you mentioned. And, you know, that was really the foundation for Habitat. It was community members working together to care for and support each other.
So what did they do on this 42-acre farm? What did they do?
Well, they farmed. And part of what happened there was to say, hey, not only is, you know, Joe down the street's barn falling down, not only is our barn falling down, but Joe's is too. Well,
let's go help him rebuild.
Let's go help him rebuild that. And so that's where the idea, well, if we had a pool of money maybe that we could tap into if our neighbors have a problem, well, then we could all benefit. And that was the core model for Habitat. They called it the Fund for Humanity.
That's where the light went off?
That's where the light went off, yep. Yep. And then this gentleman, Clarence Jordan, was a theologian and had a very, very practical sense and application for his theology. And he thought, you know, this needs to be lived out in real life, people caring for each other, and that's how it evolved.
Yeah, final message. We have only got a minute left, and then we got to get to our second guest, but we appreciate you being here. You got a board meeting to get to today, don't you?
A staff meeting, yeah.
A staff meeting. Your involvement with Fresno State is what? If you can explain in like 30 seconds.
Sure. We've just been partners with Fresno State in many, many capacities since day one. As a matter of fact, an organization that was a great organization doing a lot of building just like Habitat came out of our partnership with Fresno State. But tonight we've got a meeting with their project management folks. So I think they're interested to see how the Habitat model operates as opposed to kind of a traditional world thing. So we work with Fresno State from conversation, for construction management, for volunteers on the job site, you name it, we work with them.
Yeah, I'm glad you were here today, Tony, to explain all this. I've been wanting to get somebody on from Habitat for quite some time, and finally glad you were able to make it here. And, you know, good to see you, and come back again.
Great. Well, thanks for the opportunity.
All right. All right. Tony Miranda, the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity here in Fresno County. Hey, he's got big things planned for the future. He's been here 12 years, but not done yet, my friends. And we're not done yet. We got more to come here on Connect With Me. Our second guest is a comedian. You'll enjoy him. You'll think he's funny. At least I do. 436-MeTV, option 11. We're back in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the KitchenAid appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Save big with KitchenAid. Right now, get up to a $1,000 prepaid MasterCard when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Watch Dr. TV on over-the-air channel 13.9.
The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's 3 reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me, and baby makes 3.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV Appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
It's almost time.
Now we'll find out once and for all about Clark Kent and Superman.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a TV show.
Yes, but who is he? What's his name?
He's Superman.
Golly, Clark, won't that be wonderful seeing Superman?
Fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and television the MeTV way.
No one can do the things that Superman does.
The adventures of Superman.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
A top secret location. It's the spies who love me, bringing together MeTV's top super spies to fight evil at a memorable moment's notice. They're daring.
That's right.
Brave.
Now what are we gonna do?
The best we can.
Suave.
Does that apply to me, Oscar?
Possibly.
And smart.
The yellow finger in the gun trick.
Maxwell Smart.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program, connect with me on MeTV Fresno on this Thursday morning, and time to have a few laughs here, and we do that quite often here, daily on the program, as a matter of fact. We're talking about a comedy entertainment show that's going to take place at the Selma Arts Center on Saturday. That's this coming weekend, so go out there and get some laughs. This thing is called Refried Comedy. So what is that? Well, it's a national comedy club that started way back in 2001 at the Improv in Hollywood, and it featured many of the Latino comedians, those funny ones. But then guys like Drew Carey started showing up. Guys like Dave Chappelle started showing up, and the rest is history, and it eventually made its way here to the Central Valley. Here's a little bit of what you'll see in Refried Comedy this coming weekend on Saturday at the Selma Arts Center. All for a good cause, too, my friends.
But I can't. Fat people don't drive small cars. You know why? Because we end up looking like Donkey Kong from Mario Kart. It's gonna flip. I know it. I'm gonna show you guys the move right now. You guys wanna see the move? I'm gonna show you the move. This is how fat people get the underwear in their butt. Pay attention. I'm gonna do it one time. That's it. Right there. I mean, what would you think I would do? That's good. Who said big girls? Who said big girls? You said big girls? No. And I'm gonna tell you why. Don't be shy, Chachita. I like you. I like you. I just don't know if I can afford to feed both of us.
All right, live in our studio now, we'll see if he has any good one-liners here for the rest of the program, is Phil Medina. He's a comedian who is going to be there on Saturday night, the Selma Arts Center. This is all for a good cause. We'll ask him why. And if you have any one-liners that you want to just, unload on us here, 436-MeTV, option 11. I have some, but, I can't think of any right now. I'm just not that quick on my feet. Call in, weigh in, back in just a moment.
You can find movies on over-the-air channel 13.3. Movies. Our name says it all.
Back here on the show, connect with me with Phil Medina. Good morning, my friend. So, what are the 7 words you can't say on TV?
Well, it's, okay. Can I do it? Because, all right, no.
Tell us what the 7 words are that you can't say. No, I'm just kidding.
I might get my mouth washed out with soap. I'm good. I feel like I'm in court right now, like I'm giving a deposition right now. I did not.
You could be. You could be.
I did not steal that TV. It was my brother. He's 10 pounds lighter than me. You can tell us apart.
I saw you walking out with that washer and dryer.
You busted me. The first thing they asked, are you in a gang? I'm like, yeah, Weight Watchers, what's up? That's, on my cheat days, it's McDonald's.
Why do they ask you that? Because of the tattoo there? Medina? Medina?
You know what? It was supposed to say Melinda, but they messed it up, so that's what it is.
Hey, Phil, tell us what this, so Refried Comedy, it's been around a long time. I mean, 13 years, I guess. No, wait a minute, 2001, 14 years, hello. So this started out as a kind of a Latino comedy club right down there in L.A.?
It started out as a Latino comedy night at the Improv, the world famous Hollywood Improv.
Yeah.
And then
Richard Villa, the man behind it all, said, you know what, we're going to start this night. It's going to be Refried Comedy. Refried Friday is what it was originally called. He has blown this thing up. We have Refried Comedy now, not only in Hollywood. We got it in San Diego. We got it right here in Fresno. We got it in New York City. We got it in New Jersey. We got it in Connecticut. We're everywhere. We got it in El Paso, Texas, everywhere. It's all about that refried comedy.
That's amazing. And refried comedy, where did that name come from? What does that mean? Is there a meaning behind that?
You know, I don't know. I don't even know why you asked me that right now. Cause no, I think it's I think it's just is a little bit about our culture. You know, everything refried and we turn.
Is that about the Hispanic culture? Is that it? I'm not sure I follow that.
I'm Asian.
Oh, you? Oh,
no.
Gotcha.
No, it is. It's about the Hispanic culture and.
Well, how is that? I don't get it.
You ever heard of a refried bean?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, Phil. Yes, I don't eat them, but I've heard of them.
No, I don't eat them either, John. Like I try to stay away from fattening food, guys.
I eat beans, but they're not refried.
Try it. It's really good. You would really enjoy refried beans,
High in cholesterol, my friend.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. High in fat content or something.
Grandma, you've been lying to me.
Have you heard about fried foods, Phil? Not good for you.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
What did you know?
So anyway, the improv, refried comedy. So guys like Drew Carey and Dave Chappelle, all these guys, they started getting involved in this, and they're not Hispanic. Gee, what do you know? What a novelty.
You know what it is right now?
Why did a white guy show up to this thing?
Because Richard Villa was packing out the shows and still is packing out the shows at the Hollywood Improv, and every comic wants a great stage to perform on. And just because you're Latino or you're white or you're black, it doesn't really matter. Refried comedy now means funny. That's what it means. It's not just for Latinos. It's not just for whites or just for blacks. It's funny.
Is there there a difference between Latino comedy, black comedy like an Eddie Murphy type, and say white comedy like Drew Carey or Jim Carrey or anybody else?
You know, I would like to think that there isn't. I mean, I'm of the belief is I'm a comedian who happens to be Mexican.
Yeah.
And I would like to think funny is funny. Whether you're Drew Carey, or whether you're Ron White, or whether you're Paul Rodriguez, or whether you're Richard Villa, you are funny is funny, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, do the cultures, do they cross lines here somewhere? Do they interconnect somehow? And do they, is there a commonality, between black and white and Hispanic comedy?
You know what? Yeah, there is. I mean, because we all grew up a certain way. I mean, we all played Little League when we were little. We all had that grandma who used to beat us. Well, I did anyway, so I still had that. We all had those life experiences, and whether you were white or black, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think that funny is funny. That's all there is to it.
But you kind of have to be a Latino to get the Latino jokes a little bit, don't you? Because you grew up in that Latino family core and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, I think if you come to the show on Saturday night in Selma, you're going to see that it's just funny.
You're going to get it.
You're going to get it. You're going to get all the jokes.
Okay. Yes, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead. Keep it clean.
Hello. Hey, John, and hello to your guest. I'm sorry I missed his name. If you
Phil
repeat
Medina.
It later. But, my question to you seem like a real funny guy, and you mentioned that you guys do play here or do gigs here in Fresno. I'm curious to find out a little bit more about that. And then also, what's your take on Gabriel Iglesias, a.k.a. Fluffy, and maybe your take on Robin Williams? I think those two also were, they're both very big names, and maybe Fluffy not so much as Robin Williams, but I think he's great. And you look like a pretty funny guy, and I'd like to come out and see you if let us know when you're going to be doing a gig here in Fresno next. Thanks.
You got it.
I'll take my answer over the air.
Okay.
Here's the deal with that. Gabriel Iglesias is a megastar. That's all there is to it. Gabriel is climbing that ladder of success.
He's at the top of his game, huh?
He's at the top. I don't even think he's peaked out yet, and that's the great thing about him. I mean, Gabriel, and as we were just talking about, you talk about the difference between white comics, black comics, and Hispanic comics. Oh yeah, huh? You talk about that difference. Gabriel can sell out a show in Fresno at the Selland Arena, and then go to Memphis, Tennessee, and sell out a show.
Wow.
He can go to New York City and sell out a show. And he is another one that's just a comedian that happens to be Latino.
If I want to, he mentioned Robin Williams. Whenever I'm feeling a little blue, I go on the internet on YouTube and I YouTube Robin Williams because he puts me on the floor. And then if you look at Good Morning Vietnam, which I've seen about 1,000,001 times on Netflix, I'm just, his facial expressions, his tone of voice. I mean, what is it that makes this guy funny?
Robin Williams had it. That was all there was
What
to
is
it.
it?
The it factor. He had stage presence. He had funny. He had everything. And when you have a tragedy like that for comedians everywhere, it's a sad loss. It really was. But the best thing is you go back, you look at what he was all about, never be duplicated ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
his mouth was able to keep up and his tongue were able to keep up with his brain, which is phenomenal.
If you look at some of his stuff, like when he did the Tonight Show for the first time, I saw that on YouTube, blown away, absolutely blown away. Just, he is one of the reasons. I remember being 3 years old and watching those comedy things with my parents because they didn't care what we watched. They would let us watch these comedy things, and I remember just Robin Williams, guys like him, guys like Rodney Dangerfield, all those greats, we'd watch them, and that is why I think I'm here today. Yeah. Making you laugh.
Phil Medina is here. He's got a great event coming up on Saturday at the Selma Arts Center. Got to go out there. We'll come back with him in just a moment. You can call in at 436-MeTV, option 11.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Frigidaire Gallery appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy.
Time for that upgrade to an Energy Star qualified French door Frigidaire Gallery refrigerator.
Quality appliances for the way you live. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise.
You know, when I look at a comic, I don't look at Hispanic, black, white. I mean, if the guy's funny, he's funny. I don't care what he is. I could care less what he is. I think Eddie Murphy is one of the funniest guys. His movies and that laugh. Can you do that laugh?
That laugh. Eddie Murphy is a legend, and I wish he would go and start doing stand-up again because I'm in LA all the time. I see the young guys. And I just...
Any direction, huh?
Eddie Murphy would just take him to school. That's just all there is to it. I mean, it would just, that's what would happen.
I wonder if he's got, I saw him on the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary, and Murphy didn't look like he was quite with it. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it looked like he had a gun to his head to go out there. He didn't, he just clapped, give it up for Eddie.
And he's just standing there kind of grinning and not really performing, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't that good. Now, the rest of the show was okay, but he just, he was uncomfortable. He didn't want to be there. But, I mean, he was the top of his game.
There was some bad blood early on, wasn't there, with Saturday Night? Because the first time in 31 years he had showed up there.
I'm not quite sure what happened there, but
there was some kind of bad blood. I'm not sure what it was, but he had a little falling out with maybe a few of the cast members, and I don't know.
As entertainers, we have real thin skin. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. No, it's bad. You're peeling my tattoo off. I just got this.
All right. So what's going on Saturday? What is this thing?
Saturday night, we are doing a benefit show for the Selma Arts Center. All ticket sales, they are keeping 100% of ticket sales to help them continue to grow that beautiful art center. We're Refried Comedy. Like I said, we're all over the country. We've got Sam Butler, who's hilarious, from El Paso, Texas. We've got Richard Villa, the man who started it all. Myself, I'll be on there, and we're filming this for a DVD special. So make sure you guys get out there. It's going to be an amazing time.
And all the proceeds go where? Back to the Art Center?
They go right to the Art Center. 100% of the ticket sales go right to the Art Center.
And how much does it cost?
It's $15 to get in, to come have a good time. And you never know, you might end up on the DVD.
Yeah, and let's see, what time does it start?
It starts at 8 o'clock, doors open at 7 o'clock. Just come out, have a good time, laugh. We'll cry together. Somebody will probably take their clothes off. Whatever. Just come. You'll have a good time.
Somebody will take their clothes off?
John, I've been known
I hope
to
it's
do
not
that.
you.
I have been known to do that from time to time.
You know, this is a family show, but go ahead and give me some one-liners here. You got a couple of minutes left, so do your little stand-up routine here.
You know, I want your show to stay on the air. I really do. I don't think it's probably wise, but I do talk a lot about funny things in my set. I talk a lot about being a child and growing up, being a big kid growing up. Like I was always a little fat kid, and I remember this is a true story. I wanted one of those little sit and spins. You guys remember sit and spins? You sit on them and you spin as fast as you can. My dad wouldn't let me have one because he was afraid I was gonna mess up the carpets. Like that's just how it was.
You had a little falling out with your father, did you? Yeah.
Over that, yeah, and the fact that, he used to call me fat all the time. So did my mom, but it's okay. I was adopted. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, but so you have a beautiful wife over here. What does she see in you?
I don't know. I just bought her like a couple weeks ago. That Russian dating thing. It's pretty dope. You guys should try it out.
I have. That's why I'm still single.
Oh, yeah. There's a refund policy. Take them back to Target.
Hey,
That's
who do
how it
you
works.
admire right now on the scene? Who do you like? You like some of the old timers like Steve Martin and the Blues Brothers, Dan Aykroyd and what's his name? Chevy Chase. And what's his name? Bill Murray.
I'm going to throw you guys off with this.
Okay, go ahead.
Two names. One, I admire immensely Richard Villa. He is one of the funniest guys you're ever going to meet. Number two, Howard Stern.
Oh, I like Howard Stern. But you know what? You ought to Google or YouTube a guy I used to watch when I was a kid, and he used to have me and my brother on the floor. He was on The Tonight Show a few times. Name is George Wallace.
Yes.
That dude was funny. I love that guy.
George Wallace. I've met George Wallace a couple times. He's a hilarious guy. He's a very nice, funny guy. He's funny. Rodney Dangerfield was another one.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield, hands down, was one of my favorites growing up as a kid.
I mean, you are gonna be. I mean, your gut's gonna bust when you hear Wallace. I mean,
hope
it's
not.
just
It'd be a mess. Oh my God, we had to get you a
I
new
should have
studio.
pulled some clips of George Wallace because he would just. I mean, with that stoic face, he'd just bleep out these one-liners, and you'd just be going, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that."
He was awesome. He is awesome. I mean, he's still out to this day performing.
Is he still out performing somewhere?
Still out doing like big arenas and stuff like that. He's a really funny guy. First time I saw him, I was like 7 years old on Showtime. He was, amazing guy.
Yeah. You like Chris Rock?
Chris Rock. I'll just sum it up in one word: icon. That's it.
Think so? There's a lot of cursing though in some of his. You
know,
like that?
That's
the HBO stuff.
I'll tell you right now. That's just that's the way it is. I mean, he's funny, and he does his thing. There is a lot of cursing in his act, but if you sit down and you really listen to it, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. Phil Medina, thank you very much for being here. Have a good time on Saturday night, and remember those 7 words, man. George Carlin, the 7 words you can't say on TV. You can say them in Selma, but not here. Anyway, Phil Medina, a comedian. He's going to be on the stage at the Selma Arts Center, 8 o'clock Saturday night. It's called Refried Comedy. Hope you can get out there. $15 a ticket, all for a good cause. It goes back into the Arts Center. Back tomorrow with another edition of Connect with Me. See you then.